Welcome to the Uninkable Dads podcast. Come on in. We've got an episode full of content for you. We've got our usual flavour text game, some great deck lists for you to take a look at if you're looking to compete in Set 7 on a budget. We've got news of competitive play in Lorcana and how you can play some Lorcana for free. And a report on Axion, a 200 plus player tournament, which FPSMadness went along to this weekend and actually came away a winner. So we look forward to hearing all about that one.
Okay, guys, so we'll start off this week, as we always do, with the flavor text from last week. So the flavor text game last week, hint was it was a Sapphire card, and it's the coolest home in Lorcana. We did have a correct guess in the comments, which was one of our locals, Michael. So the answer was the good old MacDuck Manor. So I mean, I'll give him the juice. It is a very cool home.
It's a pretty cool home.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say no if you ask me to move in there. I might have to.
Although the interesting thing is it's a cool home, but it's one that nobody moves into in Lorcana because there's no reason to move anyone there.
But this is a very good point. Yeah, it's a one cost to move there, but no one's going because what's the point? But yeah, that's a very good point. I never really thought about that. The coolest home in Lorcana, and no one wants to live there.
Okay.
So we're going to our listener questions for this week. So we actually had one asking for a budget green steel deck. So here we go. This is the monstrosity that I have constructed. I don't think it's actually too bad. I believe it's just over, if you bought all the cards from scratch, so if you've got no green steel cards whatsoever, I believe it was just over 100. And the main reason for that is Ursula and Prince John. Those are the two most expensive cards in this deck. But it has quite a straightforward game plan, really. You're planning on disturbing your opponent, basically. Perfect curve, you'd be looking at playing Curse Merfolk on turn 1, Flynn on turn 2, Prince John on turn 3, and then you quest with these two at the same time. You gain a nice 4 lore, and if they challenge and take them out, you're also going to draw cards from that at the same time, because Flynn Rider and Curse Merfolk make your opponent discard when they're banished in a challenge, and therefore you're going to draw from it. Ursula is what we all call the double sing Ursula. So basically, if you sing a song with this, you can basically take it from your discard and play it again for free. So therefore, you can sing Sudden Chill twice, therefore drawing twice from Prince John, and so on and so forth. And then for the set 7 cards, we've gone with the new Gantu, which we spoke about in the last episode, and the new Pete. Now, Pete obviously can shift onto the games referee Pete, and that really is going to make a big impact into their game. It's going to depend on what deck you're versing. Discard's always good. Discard's always going to disrupt them. If you're up against what is currently the meta card decks of Sapphire Steel or Sapphire Ruby, the Gantu and Pete could really slow them down and really mess up their game plan. So, like I said, there is ways of making this deck better, but you then look at the route of Diablo and Diablo Shift, and then that starts racking up the price of the card. So if you have Diablos or you want to invest, the next stage up would probably be to drop the Merfolk for the 1-cost Diablo, and potentially narrowing down a few of these numbers to freeze to fit in the Shift Diablo. So yeah, it's a strong deck. Green Steel discard's always going to be around. And at the minute, I think it is quite powerful because no one's really expecting it. So yeah, I've played against.
I like it.
I've played against discard the last few days online, and it does mess you up. You're not expecting it. You start playing these sticking bells on popsicles and deleting your hand. The next thing you know, they play a sudden chill, and you're like, oh, well, there goes my hero that was going to draw me cards next turn. So yeah, it's quite nice. So I'll leave the deck list below if anyone wants to try it out. Like we say, try any decks that you're not sure on Lorcanito first before buying the cards. That's obviously our recommendation. Yeah. But obviously, if you've got the cards and want to build it and try it out, feel free. Let us know how you get on. So the other comment we had is our favourite uninkable card. Now, I suppose Uninkable Dads, we should really expect this at some point, shouldn't we? So, I actually took a guess on yours, and I believe this would be yours.
Wasn't a hard one. Yeah, as somebody who's played Ruby Amethyst, yeah, I've enjoyed Be Prepared as a card. That's probably one of the strongest uninkable cards in the game. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no real surprise there, unfortunately. But then my one may surprise people, may not. I actually went with Bippity Boppity Boo. Now, it's not really an uninkable that sees much play, but I think it goes in every single one of my green decks, so that's why I decided to go with it. Obviously, you've got cards like Diablo and stuff, but that's not in every green deck. Whereas this, I would put in everything. I'd put it in the steel deck. I'd put it in green purple. You know, it could be a very powerful card at the right moment. My current favorite one in steel is to get Pete to repeat himself. So basically, you get Pete to sing Bippity, pick up Pete, and replay Pete for nothing, and just keep stalling the game. So yeah, it's quite nice. That's my my current. I'd say one of my favorite uninkables. Going on from there, we actually have a little bit of news for you. So the FPS YouTube channel has managed to pick up a little bit of a affiliate. So I used the code uninkable. So if you go to VaultX and when you check out, if you type in code uninkable, you will actually get 10% off VaultX. So it's quite nice if anyone is thinking of picking up some new binders and some new deck boxes for set 7. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to expand it to Uninkable Dads at some point. But currently it is there, just code Uninkable.
We wanted to just say thank you to everyone that's shown support to the channel so far, and lots of you I know joined us for the Harlan Sweet interview last week. We had an absolute blast talking to Harlan. He's a lovely guy and absolutely passionate about Lorcana, so we hope you enjoyed the interview as well. If you haven't seen it as yet, then pop back to our channel and check out last week's videos. Really worth a watch. Harlan gave us lots of insight into Sapphire Steel, but also we talked a lot about the set 7 meta and Lorcana in general. And if you haven't done so as yet, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And we know that about 95% of our viewers are not as yet subscribed, as we're a new channel. So do make sure that you subscribe, and then you will not miss out on future content.
Yeah, so we actually were supposed to do this a couple of episodes ago, and we both looked at this and struggled with it. But we said we were going to bring it, so we have brought it to you. We have finally, when we say we, that's a Glenn again. Finally done the starter deck upgrade for Red Blue. Now, this is obviously the starter deck as it comes, or the single player deck, sorry, as it's now been reworded to in set 7. From what I can see from the upgrade, I don't think there's many cards that are sticking.
No,
I think
it was an interesting one. I mean, out of the 2 set 7 starter decks, having looked at it, this I found to be definitely the least coherent. The Amethyst Steel deck seemed to have a little bit of a core to it that you could build off of, whereas this one seemed to be trying to do lots of different things, and it was difficult to know which of those you would want to play into.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones. It's difficult with this deck, isn't it? Because a lot of the what you'd call the meta cards currently from Sapphire Ruby are very big, expensive cards. So they're not going to be in the single player decks. I haven't actually tested this. At some point, I will build it. I want to see what it actually runs like. But you do keep a few of them. So the unconventional tool, I believe, stays. Bell, Donald, and the Little Bell, I believe, are all in the upgrade. But let's have a look. So we went. Well, I'll let you talk through it.
So yeah, as you mentioned, the unconventional tool, and I think this wants to do a particular opening. If you can hit it with the right cards in your hand, which is on 1 to play unconventional tool, then to play Bell using her ability to banish unconventional tool to play Bell for free. Unconventional tool has an ability that when it is banished, you play 2 less for the next item that you play this turn. So we've got a number of items that we'd be happy to play out for free. Popsicle and Imperial Proclamation, but the one we're aiming for is Sapphire Coil. So if we can end our turn 1 with Bell on the board and a Sapphire Coil down, that's pretty imposing for our opponents. We just have to watch out for those sneaky green steel decks, as FPSMadness has just revealed to us, who then eat the rest of our cards when we're in trouble. But yeah, that's the kind of start that we're looking for. We've got Tipo, who is an uncommon, but isn't such a budget uncommon. His price seems to have rocketed with the popularity of Sapphire.
It's got to be the highest uncommon in the game, I believe.
Probably at the minute. But Tipo or Sail the Azurite Sea on 2 to allow you to ramp into a Hiram or a Grand Martala for that card draw. And then you've got the sort of the top end cards in there in the Lady Tremaine, Madame Medusa, B Prep, and the Ariel. We're hoping that we're going to have a few items on board. Either Ariel can then quest for 5, or we can go into the Bell, and the Bell has the potential to quest for 6. So if you can shift her in and then quest with her, you quest for 3, and you can put up to 3 item cards from your discard onto your bottom of your deck, and you gain 3 lore for doing so. She can come in cheaper than her shift 7 cost. Potentially, there is a potential to get her out on something like 5, maybe, and then if she's hitting for 6 straight away, that's quite powerful.
Yeah, nice. It's very nice, and this has got to be one of your favourite cards, surely, because you can sing pre-prep with it.
Absolutely.
A lot of items you could get this out
on turn 5.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, I mean, come on. Well, let's do the quick maths here. So you got 4 here, 5. You got 6 1-drops. Oh no, correction, 10. So Bell comes out technically for 3. Turn 2, you could get 2 down. Turn 3, you get another 3, so that's 5. So that reduces it down to... So turn 4, you could have a Bell and sing pre-prep. You'd need to hit the right cards in the right order, but technically you can be prep on turn 4. So maybe that's one to watch out for. So if you have previously watched one of our other episodes, I think it was episode 1 or episode 2, we were talking about it, that Valentine's actually came around with some free packs for players in the US, with Pack Crush being free in their local stores, and now we've had the news that we have it ourselves. So participating stores in the UK and Ireland from April the 5th to the 20th, Disney Lorcana Pack Rush will be free. So you can pop in and play Pack Rush for free. Be careful, this isn't quite as it reads. You can't pop in every day between the 5th and the 20th and play Pack Rush for free. Your store will probably have a designated day where you can go in and play. So check out with your local game store and find out what day they're holding this, if they're taking part. Like I say, not all stores are. We're quite lucky our one is, and I believe ours is the 20th, is it? No, ours is...
Easter Sunday.
Whenever that is. I can't remember. I think it's 20th. So yeah, ours is taking part and we get to pop in. There's a predetermined number of people on one, so you have to reserve your spot. You'll go in, play the game, and that is what it is. I believe they're actually doing the same as what's on here, which is England and Ursula. So,
cool. And nice. This one, you can actually take the wife along or the partner, along, and
yeah, it's not Valentine's Day.
Not get in trouble for trying to do it on Valentine's Day.
You're not going to get what on earth do you think this is? So yeah, I like it. So the other news that we got in Lorcana is the set champs. Yeah, so we have the set champs news announced for the dates. I don't know if you've got the dates again, have you?
It's running for 4 weeks from the 3rd of May is the start. And it's Saturdays and Sundays only, so it's weekends. Nice. For the 4 weeks from the 3rd of May.
Oh, cool. So yeah, this is basically what your local game store will receive. These are obviously what is up for grabs. So I believe that everyone that takes part will receive the non-foil version of Hero Hamada. The top 8 will receive the alternate art Enchanted Hero Hamada, and the player who finishes first will receive the championship playmat. So yeah, it's definitely worth taking part. I believe our local game store has, taken on some nice feedback from all its players, and I think it's going to be a sold out event this time around. Unfortunately, I don't think we're all overly excited about the card, unfortunately, but it's still competitive play in a sense, and it's also something to be aiming for. So I think in the sense of us all turning up to play competitively, we're all looking forward to it. So, but yeah,
absolutely. And I mean that playmat is that's quite nice.
yeah.
I'd still like them to sort the font on the champion out, but other than that, it's quite a nice playmat, I think.
Yeah, that is the one thing that everyone's had an issue with is the way the wording on it. I don't think this is necessarily needed now that only the first player gets it, because you have to finish first to win it. So,
Yeah.
but they've decided to go for it. That may change in the future, but right now there is a piece of information on here.
Yeah.
And
you get to flex as well because there will be so many less of them around now.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
half as many people that are going to win the match. So when you unroll that at your locals the week after,
yeah, the playmat's actually going to be a bit more rare now, isn't it? It's like you're saying, most stores, I believe, some stores do have 2 sets, but not many. So 90% of the time, this will be your local store champion. And there's not going to be another playmat for anyone else. So it'll highlight it out a little bit more for everyone. Talking about competitive play, we now will discuss a little bit about the Axion Now event. So this was on at the weekend just gone. This was in Northampton, as you can see, and it was Lorcana Fest for them, which was really good. This is the second one I've been to now. Did you come to the last one? I don't think you did you?
I didn't, unfortunately.
This is actually me. So I'm actually used in the promo picture from the very first one. I know because that is my playmat. Well, my old playmat. The schedule was on the Saturday, which was the Mega Lumineers Cup, which was a 225 player event. I will show just for people that don't know about Axion Now and their scale pricing, and there is a little spoiler I've got that we found out from being there, which I don't think I've even told you yet, so that'll be exciting. Their price breakdown is always absolutely insane, and as always, it was there. You could win a trip to Disneyland Tokyo, so it was a very good prize structure. All Axion events, they always have been. And I managed to do quite well. As you can see right behind me, I got a box of Ursula's Return. The Saturday was set 6 because it was on the crossover. So they did Saturday set 6, Sunday set 7 because of the new release. And to be honest, set 6 I didn't do very well in. I think I'd practiced too much set 7 and kind of forgot how to play my set 6 deck. So I played 4 rounds and decided I knew I wasn't going to make top 16. So I dropped out of that and went and played set 7, which is where I did well. I entered a winner box and I won a box. So it's
Awesome.
quite self-explanatory.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. But yeah, talking about pricing, we actually spoke I don't know whether he's the owner or the founder. One of the two was there. He's pretty much there every single one. And they're thinking of doing another one, we believe, in June. And at some point, he was talking about a potential big prizing of the Champion of Champions, which would be they'd hold an event on Saturday, which it would be the current set. Event on the Sunday, which would be the next set. Then the top lot from each day would then take part in an event, and whoever win that would be the Champion of Champions. And he said somewhere at home in his special vault, he does have a full set 1 enchanted set. The whole room went quiet at this point, all 225 players. He then announced that they're all PSA 10s.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's some pricing. I mean,
big prize.
I think that's technically works out probably above a Golden Mickey. Obviously, Golden Mickey's harder to get, but technically, price-wise, yeah. So that's always something to look out for and for the future. And hopefully, we did talk about this, I believe, in Harlan's episode, the fact that they're not very often. And I think he's picked up on that now. Hopefully, we may see one at the start of every set, which would be nice. Really nice. Really chuck out some competitive play out there.
So tell us a bit more about, what was sort of there. So I wasn't unfortunately able to go, so I was sat at home. I did watch Spessie's stream, so shout out to Spessie, who put a good stream on for the day. So I watched some of the matches on there, but tell us a bit about sort of what was there. Obviously, you had sort of 200 players. So, what was on there? What was the sort of mix of players like? I think I saw a few youngsters on Spessie's stream. So.
Yeah, there was some very big names there. I'm not going to try and pronounce more because a lot of them, I would screw up their names. A lot of people use their melee names and I just get them wrong. But there was a lot of players there that I recognise. There was a lot of players from Brotherhood who we've played against, and they come down to our locals. A few of them made top 16. I think 4 Brotherhood players made top 16. Wow. There was another team there. Again, I can't remember who they were, but they were all dressed all the same and stuff. So there was multiple teams. I can't remember his name. I believe his name's Bradley, which is the 13, 14-year-old who's doing extremely well. He was on Spessie's stream. He's the one who won like 5 Scar playmats.
Right.
He's extremely good player. He was there. And there was quite a few other, what I'd call kids. I'm describing them as kids because they were young. Obviously, they're not 7 or 8. Some of them are like technically probably teenagers, but I'm going to describe them as kids to make it easier. But they were probably in the range between 7 and say 14, for instance. But there was at least sort of 10 players there that were kids. All did really well. One of them actually made top 16 as well, which is really impressive. I believe on Action's X or Twitter, they've got pictures and some interviews with the top 16. It was a really good day. They also have side events, a bit like DLC running. So you can go and take part in Pack Rush, or you can do on-demand winner box events. So as long as there's 8 players available, you basically start a winner box. And I think it's pretty much knockout because you have to win every game. So as much as it's not a knockout, it's Swiss, but as soon as you lose one, you're out. So that was going on. I think I've saw multiple people doing that I've played against and seen. You had the predetermined winner box, which is the one I took part in, which was at a set time. I believe it was like 3 o'clock. So the idea was that was going to start at 3 o'clock no matter what. I think there was 32 people signed up for that. Again, a lot of them very good players. I played, sitting quite a few of them around, and I got, I'm going to say I got a little bit lucky. I did play the person that came first and second out of my 5 games. And then I played a couple of people that I didn't recognise. But none of my games were easy. Every single one of them was, I played 4 mirrors. So blue steel mirror, and it's fun.
Best of 2 or best of 3 format?
No, best of 3. Yeah, so it was a case of I kind of realised very quickly there was going to be mirrors in it. I didn't think I'd play 4 out of my 5 games. But yeah, it was good. And I won 4-1. So 1-4, lost 1 game. So I did okay. I lost 1 mirror, which was the guy who actually finished top. So yeah, it was good. It was a good event. I enjoyed it. And it was a nice break from playing set 6 all day because I sort of had to push into my head that it was like, right, set 6, this is my deck, and then it was like, I get to go back to my set 7 deck now, which was unfortunately the very sweaty and unfair turn 1 Bell into Scrooge into Tamatoa, and So I didn't have a fair deck by any means necessary, but it was good. It was definitely a good day. They also have like a little stall there that they sell like cards, individual cards, some of the bigger ones that maybe need into decks. They sell packs there. All of them actually really good, reasonable price. I think the boxes were like, can't remember, don't quote me on this, but around £80 to £90 a box. So they were lower than what you'd expect. And the packs were the same. I think if you buy 3 packs, it was like £12 or something like that. So yeah, it was good. And then you had the prize wall, so which again was a bit like DLC. You can take part in like scavenger hunts and quizzes and stuff like that to win prize tickets, which I believe, let me bring it back up screen. Yeah. So yeah, you had the meet and greet, the scavenger hunt, Disney karaoke, Disney quiz, Ursula's revenge room, which was the Lumina's Quest Deep Trouble versus Ursula, learn to play, and a costume contest. And each one of these you could basically win like prize tickets or promos. So I know some people who took part in the costume contest got given the Arna Set 7 promo that you get for going to events. So yeah,
were there many people dressed up on the day?
Yeah, there was about... So yeah, there was actually quite a few. So I'll bring it up here. These were the ones, just some of the people. There was others dressed up, but they were currently in the middle of a game, or like they'd popped out towards the stalls or something like this. But these were like, I'd say probably about half of the people that were dressed up. So you had a few here. There was also a Stitch walking around. So Stitch was there as well. He was walking around seeing people. And then obviously you also had the 3 streamers that were there, which was obviously Spessy, Elmaster and Baker, or Lorcana Villain. They were there, and this was the top 16. So I believe the guy sitting here, he was the guy that ended up going on and winning. Elmaster made top 16, and this was the kid that made it through. But yeah, it was good. It was a good day. It's one of those ones of, I knew I wasn't going to make it very early on, hence why I dropped and went and played at 7. But the atmosphere in there was amazing. Everyone was having such a fun day. You could see, whether people were walking around going, "Oh, I've lost that one," but they still had a big smile on their face. Everyone was still enjoying themselves. It's nice to have that many people together, all playing and all enjoying the game, sort of thing. So no, it was really good day.
Yeah, it's like an awesome day. So it sounds like June is going to be an Uninkable Dads day out.
Oh yeah,
so we look forward to seeing people there.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to make sure we get down there, and maybe we'll try and get a few snippets for the podcast and stuff while we're down there. So cool. So have you got an idea for a flavor text? Because I don't know. I didn't pick one. So do you want to do one?
Yeah. So this is a card that we've actually seen during the podcast today. So we've had a few up on screen. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Spotify, you'll have to jump over to YouTube. Remember to like and subscribe while you're there. But the flavor text for this one is, I don't want much, just the most powerful lore. So who is hungry for lore in Lorcana?
That's a good one. I like it. So yeah, so we will reveal the flavor text at the start of next week's episode. So please comment below, let us know what you think it is, or drop us an email at theuninkabladads@outlook.com. So that is it. So thank you very much. It's time to roll up those playmats.
Pack up those dice.
And remember, stay uninkable. See you next time.
See you next time.
Illumineers, how you doing today? Listen to the show and learn to play. Whether you are new or you're a pro, I'm sure we have something to show. Amber, green, red, and steel, then purple, blue, complete our wheel. Listen and you'll learn some new strats to help you win some championship mats. So what ink color are you gonna choose? Inkable or uninkable? It is up to you. gonna choose? Inkable or uninkable? It is up to you.